The British National Party are launching their manifesto for the London mayoral election today. Their candidate, Carlos Cortiglio, will be stressing the importance of reforming and training the police force. Well, here's a full list of candidates standing in next month's election. You can find out more about them on our website. A leading Palestinian activist has won his appeal against the government decision to deport him. Sheikh Reid Salah was banned from entering Britain but managed to walk through Heathrow Airport last year without being stopped. Look at the travel situation now. Most train companies are running a weekend service and there's some additional engineering work. It's worth checking with train companies before you travel today. Well, on the Underground, there are part closures on the Circle, District, Hammersmith and City, Waterloo and City and also Metropolitan lines. On the roads, the A3 Borough High Street is closed in both directions between Duke Street Hill and St Thomas Street for roadworks. Diversions are in place, but expect some delays. Look at the weather forecast now. We can expect some much-needed rain for most of the day. It'll be windy at times as the temperature reaches a high of 11 Celsius. That's it. I'll be back with the lunchtime news at 1:15 today. Until then, have a very good morning. Bye-bye.
Well, that's it from us today. Join us tomorrow when we'll have more of our special Titanic coverage, a century after the disaster, which has fascinated millions of people worldwide.
We'll speak to Buck Brannaman, the real-life cowboy who inspired the book and the film The Horse Whisperer.
And we'll be joined by Connie Fisher, fresh from playing Maria in the West End. She's now starring in a new production of the musical comedy Wonderful Town.
And, of course, Bill and Susanna will be doing all that from our brand-new studio in Salford. Join them for breakfast with a new look tomorrow from 6.
Now, from all the team here, have a very good day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Syria's opposition accuses President Assad of sabotaging a UN-backed peace plan due to come into force tomorrow. The BBC has told the British government approved the rendition of a terrorist suspect to the Gaddafi regime in Libya. The cost of a British bank holiday. A business research group calculates each bank holiday cost the UK economy around £2.3 billion. The Queen recognises the Duchess of Cornwall's service to the monarchy by appointing her to the highest rank in the Royal Victorian Order. And after a thrilling playoff, Bubba Watson wins the 76th Masters in Augusta. Good morning. Doubts are growing about the planned ceasefire in Syria following new demands from the government there. After initially agreeing to the proposals, officials in Damascus now say they need a written guarantee from the rebels that they will not only stop fighting, but also disarm. Opposition military and political figures have dismissed the demands, saying they're designed to sabotage the UN-backed peace plan.
In the city of Homs, the military doesn't sound like it's in retreat. Yet, that was what was meant to be happening now. Under a UN-brokered plan, the army has less than 24 hours to pull out from Syrian towns and cities. That's looking increasingly unlikely. Not just because the violence has intensified, but because the Syrian leadership has made new demands. It wants the rebels to provide a written guarantee that they will disarm. They've refused to do so. This is a Syrian army tank that the rebels managed to take out. The government fears that if they leave, the opposition will regroup and take control of the city. Every day, 1,000 Syrians are arriving in Turkish refugee camps. They bring with them harrowing stories and their grief.
I have been missing my family, my country. I have been feeling very upset.
24,000 Syrians are now living here. The Turkish government says they're welcome, but it's growing impatient. Not just with the Syrian leadership, but with the international community. Turkey says it's time the United Nations got tougher. Zoe Conway, BBC News.
We'll get the very latest from our correspondents in Beirut and Moscow on that story in a few minutes' time. The BBC has been told that the British government approved the rendition of a terrorist suspect to Colonel Gaddafi's regime in Libya in 2004.